Hi, I'm Sharon Jones, and I'm at the TTAC at VCU, and we are part of the Department of Education. And I'm here with Bernice Ford, who is the Director of Special Education for Cumberland County Public Schools. Bernice wears lots of hats. She'll tell us about some of those. I'm also here with Jackie Neidel, who is also from the Virginia Department of Education's Training and Technical Assistance Center at VCU. We work together, and Jackie supports the Assistive Technology Team in Cumberland County. So we have a few questions that Bernice is going to help us with to help us understand more about how her assistive technology team works and supports Cumberland County. The first question that we have is, Bernice, what do you see as the benefits of having an assistive technology team?
Well, the most important benefit that I see is really consistency in our practices.
Mhm.
Initially when we first started out just developing a team, when the part on the IEP that talks about the considerations and say, have you, you know, given consideration to any assistive technology? And of course, everybody would say yes. And so, we wanted to really fine tune that and have a process in place. And one of the things that we've found by putting some procedures and things in place is that it kind of builds the knowledge of the assistive technology team, and they really have a pretty good idea, or a good idea of why it is important to really do the consideration for a student with a disability. And as I mentioned before, that consistency in practice is key. Having a process. So if you have staff that are currently there and you have staff that are coming in, we have a process and some procedures in place so that we could just pick it up and keep going, and making sure that things are there for our students and that they will have the accessibility that they need.
Mhm. Thank you.
Bernice, I've been working with your team for a number of years now, and the team has changed. It has some ebbs and flows based on changing in staffing. So, who do you have on your AT team presently?
Well, currently we still have even though the staff changes, I try to make sure that we have staff from each school. So we have special education teachers from each team, from each school. We also have a related service provider on the team. Of course, we have TTAC support that helps us. And of course, I serve on the team as well. And then when we can, I mean, we have the IT person listed for the team, and they will attend, as they can. McKen, he's running, it's just one IT person trying to cover the entire school. But if we need him to be there or any type of support that he can give us, then he is available for that.
Yeah, and I know that you also have been really good about making sure that the special education teachers who are on the team are from working with different kids levels of disability. So you have some
Mhm.
of your self-contained teachers as well as your collaborative teachers on the team, which is nice because it lends a nice lens of looking at needs across the continuum.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Great, good. Bernice, what are some of the responsibilities of your AT team members?
Well, the main responsibility is they serve as a resource for their respective schools. And so, just like we said before, as I said before, trying to make sure that I have someone from, the elementary school, the middle school, the high school, so that we have those support personnel within the school system. They also are required to go back and share resources and informations that have been obtained from our meetings to the school through their staff meetings, or, even when they're working with their individual IEP teams, to be able to share that wealth of information as well as their collaborative teachers. So it's kind of like train the trainer model.
Mhm.
We train them and then they go back out and, train or share the information that they have obtained
Mhm.
through that process.
Mhm. How do you let the other folks in their schools know that they are an AT resource for them?
Well, um, having them to actually participate in the staff meetings, and the principals introduce them as members of the assistive technology team. They try to do little activities with them, and like, what is assistive technology, trying to provide them with opportunities for what would we use this from. And one of the things that we had done as an AT team is, and with the help of TTAC, is that we had the Lottie kits.
Mhm.
And the Lottie kits in them had all types of assistive technology. So, in their meetings, they had to go through and just take things out and have individuals be able to kind of manipulate them, play with them. And so, so that's one way that we are able to spread that wealth of information.
Mhm.
And we also started Assistive Technology website. I mean, it's still work in progress, but it would list the names of the individuals that are also members of the team. So
That's
Yeah,
great.
and
and
mhm,
and Sharon, team members have also commented now that gen ed teachers are now coming to them to ask them questions about things that they have a student that's having this difficulty. What do you think we could maybe try with them?
mhm,
So the teachers are really starting to recognize that they are a resource.
Mhm.
Um, the other thing that we've started to do is create some videos that will hopefully be able to go out to teachers to look at how to use different low-tech tools
Mhm.
from the Lottie kits, so that that's something else that teachers will have as a resource when they go to talk to the AT team members.
That's great. Sounds like you have a very
mhm,
um, a well-developed system for sharing information and gaining information. So
mhm.
thank you for that.
And it's it's still a work in progress, but I can see growth, with our team. I mean, we've actually, conducted surveys when we initially started. And each year we do a survey to see if we're making progress, and what do we need to work on to continue to make progress with our team.
Great. Good.
Yeah, and that goes back to that how the AT team is helping to build the capacity of others in the division related to AT and the knowledge and the implementation.
Mhm.
Those are things that the team has really worked really hard on getting across the division and having people know. Bernice, you want to share how you've done the AT survey to gain some information about other, like the gen ed
Ye-
population of teachers?
Yeah, so we conducted a survey, with of course with assistance, and we sent that initial survey out to the entire staff. It seems like when I send things out, people think it's really targeted for just our special education staff. And then I went back and took it a step further, sent it out to the principals and asked them if they could just send it out. This way, they would know that it's not just for special educators, but it's for all staff members,
Mhm.
to try to get some input and see, you know, what areas do we need to strengthen, how can we assist them, so again, especially with this new way of learning this year with the virtual learning, and things are different, so how do we have that accessibility in there? So by doing the survey, it gives us an opportunity to kind of see what type of things are they using, what other kind of things can we put in place.
Mhm. Wonderful. That sounds good. And so
Mhm,
there have been lots of challenges this year, and it's always challenging to keep an assistive technology team going with,
mhm,
um, many new students coming in and lots of needs for those students, and then staff changing constantly.
mhm.
What do you feel are some of the greatest challenges of keeping your AP team going?
I think the greatest challenge, and I think Jackie kind of mentioned it in the beginning, is that we have just the turnover of staff.
Hmm.
And we get to a certain point and we're making really great progress, and then we get have turnover, and then we have new staff on the team, and then it's like we have to kind of bridge that learning gap. So again, it's like you're constantly having to go back, and then pick up a few items and make sure that everyone's trained, and then making sure that the members on the team are now training the new staff that we have that are not on the team, and even new teachers, gen ed teachers. So it's that process of constantly having to retrain, and trying to get additional people on the team. And since we are such a very small division, and there are so many other committees and things, that just makes it difficult, because no one wants it to be on another team or another meeting.
Hmm.
And so we do have some dedicated staff members who year after year, that are still on the team, and then we have new staff members that come on board, so it's a good learning experience for them by just keeping staff. And also another drawback, is not the main one, would be the fact that because we are a small division, we, just like I said, we only have one IT person, so he's pulled in so many different directions. So we'd love for him to be able to come to every meeting, but he can't attend every meeting because he's been pulled to, take care of bigger issues within the school division. But he does anything that we need support on, if we need resources or different things for the teachers, then he will, go out of his way to make sure that things get done, but not necessarily will he be able to attend the meetings.
But he does a lot of work behind the scenes, I'm sure,
Mhm.
in terms
Yes.
of, making sure that, Chrome apps and extensions are available and other technologies are available to the students and now to the families. So
Mhm.
quite a big role there. Um,
Mhm.
how long would you say that you've had an assistive technology team? I know it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. I guess in between, I'm thinking with this most current team that's been very consistent, probably maybe at least
At least it's been
4 or 5 years.
four
Yeah.
or 5 years. That,
Hmm.
Good.
and I would say that there's some of the members that are on the team that have been on the team since the very beginning.
Hmm.
That's
Um,
wonderful commitment.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us. We'll be sharing your information with others and sharing this video. So we appreciate your time, and I think it will help others as they begin to develop their assistive technology teams. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Denise.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you,
Thanks, Bernice.
Jackie.